Please welcome Rodney Coffey.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you all for joining me. Good morning. So my name is Rodney Coffey. I'm the Aras Practice Manager here at Razorleaf Corporation, and I am proudly here to talk today about one of our favorite customers, Flexco. So we're going to talk a little bit about how Flexco is seeking out and exploring the digital thread and how Razorleaf has helped them seek out that journey. So we're going to learn a little bit about Flexco. We're going to talk about their PLM journey, which has been quite an experience all the way dating back to 2013 to current. We're going to talk about the different pieces of PLM that they've decided to implement. So before we get started, a little bit about Flexco. So Flexco was founded in 1907. So that's over 100 years of being in business. So congrats to them. That's a huge milestone for any business. And they started with just a simple hinged belt fastener. So today, if you look across their product portfolio, which has grown exponentially, they are in a lot of different areas of conveyors. So as we know, if we think about what's happened in the last year with companies like Amazon and the fulfillment business, conveyors are a very important part of our lives. I'll say that, today Flexco is about 775 employees spread out all over the globe. That's important for us to recognize. Our PLM implementation that we're going to talk about is also global. So these products, these solutions that they're developing are built all around the globe so that the products are being produced, developed, sent to market right from these facilities. It's important to know, too, that they are distributing these products to over 180 countries around the world. I think all of that, with all of Flexco's growth, I think what makes them so special for me is that while the company has grown exponentially, in the last 5 years I've got to work with them, I can attest to this. As their business has grown, they've been able to keep a proud small business culture. I can't say enough great things about the people that I've gotten to work with there and what a good partner they have been going through their PLM implementation. So let's talk a little bit about the timeline. So Flexco made a decision to move to Aras Innovator. And actually that decision was way before they knew they were going to go enterprise PLM. So we go all the way back to 2013. Flexco had an Aras Tier 50 subscription that was put in place really for smaller change and part processes. And during that window, that 2013 to 2018 window, a lot of different things happened for their business. So leading up to 2018, they had implemented enterprise ERP with N4LN, and obviously through the acquisition of other technologies, had quite a tech stack. Also interesting over that time is right around 2018, started evaluating not just what it was to have parts and change processes in place, but a little bit better look at what enterprise PLM would look like. So Razorleaf and Flexco worked together over that time to kind of go through PLM selection, think of things like proof of concept, product evaluation, to determine that, yes, Aras Innovator was the way to go for enterprise PLM, and we should move forward. So circa early 2018, we're coming up with a good enterprise plan, thinking about how we want to build the enterprise solution, how we want to roll that out, forming a good steering committee, getting good executive sponsors. And it was about June of that year, 2019, actually, that we got the ball rolling, and we've been in implementation mode since. So again, even over the course of that time, 2018 to 2020, new business systems were introduced. Salesforce was put into place for CRM. So these are important as we start to talk about business system migration and what some of the other goals for Flexco were. Today, 2021, we've decided to go with an Tier 100 Aras subscription. That's what we'll go live with later this year in Q3. And we are actively wrapping up our implementation mode and shifting to adoption. So let's talk a little bit about what these goals were. I'm going to split this into two parts. We're going to talk about the PLM goals and the integration goals. If we take a look at what the PLM goals were to seek out the digital thread with Flexco, there's a lot of wheelhouse things here: parts and BOMs, document management, change management, as well as the CAD connector for SolidWorks. Flexco made the decision after going through a CAD connector evaluation to choose Essig, and Essig has been a good partner in helping us make sure that connector is doing the things it needs to for Flexco. But outside of these wheelhouse things, I think what's really exciting about the Aras Innovator platform compared to other PLMs is the extensibility, the ability to go solve different business challenges as you find them. And that really, there's some great examples of that in Flexco. So if we look at parts and BOMs, for example, we have a sort of custom item type or a classification that hangs off of the parts and BOMs for tooling. So as many of you know and have this problem out there, you have a simple part or you have a complex part and you need to be able to tie the tooling that's used to develop that part to it. We recognize that problem in Flexco and we were very easily we're able to go create the tooling part. So, another great example is the hooks ordering that we did. So hooks is a product of Flexco's, and the customer service group enters in those orders into the system, and then those orders have to be developed by the development team in PLM. So now we're taking the hooks orders directly into PLM. That pushes over to a project where the hooks are then gone and developed. To kind of finalize this, the manufacturing process planning. This has been a super hot topic for us here at Razorleaf with our customers over the last 2-3 years. MPP is becoming something that's expected, not just something that becomes a science project kind of hanging off the initial PLM implementation. Flexco did a great job of having good requirements for that. And we were able to take the out-of-the-box MPP solution from Aras, configure it and kind of dial it into what Flexco needed and get that off the ground and running. So I'm pretty excited about all these different pieces. I think it's a great example of what I call the 6 degrees of separation for PLM. No matter who you are and what your entry point into PLM is, you're getting to the right data at the right time. So just really great examples of the flexibility of Aras. So we also had some integration goals. So like I said, Flexco had been implementing different business systems along the course of our decision to go with enterprise PLM with Aras. So integration was not can we do it, but it was a necessity. So we knew out the gate that N4 LN integration was going to be a key part of our project. So we planned for that. If we talk about, I'm going to talk about these integrations just a little bit here. We have more of a unidirectional integration to pass the bill of materials from Aras Innovator over to N4 LN. I got a customer that calls this swivel chair, right? We're looking for all the simple ROIs, reduce data redundancy. I don't want to enter data into one system and then have to enter it into the next system. Likewise, creating a fluid business process across the enterprise. So development happens here, then we can pass it to ERP to come over and do procurement and sourcing. These are all things that the majority of the organizations we're working with today are thinking about. And what I love, we used our middleware Clover to solve this problem, a Razorleaf product. Clover is used to integrate, while it's focused on PLM, used to integrate any different business system. And Flexco is a great example of that. It was, our LN integration started about Q3, Q4 of last year, 2020. And then in 2021, Flexco was looking at integrating ERP to CRM, N4LN to Salesforce. And we already had Clover stood up. We were already using it for another integration. And we were asked, hey, could we just do this on Clover? And it worked out great. And today we are. So we're actively finishing up the LN to Salesforce integration project for a number of use cases. I've been in the integration space for quite some time here. Salesforce is probably one of the number one tools we get asked to integrate with. It is infinite. There are infinite reasons to integrate there. You can see some of the things we're tackling in our early integration, accounts, contacts, quotes, products. But like I said, there's a whole boatload of other things we could tackle there. So Clover for integration, that was Razorleaf product number 1 we had at Flexco. The second was, and many of you have visited our booth or seen our press releases. We've recently had a press release about the productivity pack. Another Razorleaf product that we were able to use at Flexco was the Razorleaf manufacturing suite, in particular, the change management module. So as you know, or as you may know or heard of, these applications are developed as part of the suite to enhance Aras and really make implementation a lot easier for our clients. So we were able to take a few things out of the change management module to help Flexco. One was our affected item handling feature, which allows us to add new items to an in-work ECO or release items from a canceled ECO. Right. And then the other one was the quick change functionality, which allows us to not revise a part, but still track the change for a non-fit form or function change. So this was exciting. This was a great fit. Again, a great way to leverage Razorleaf product and excel our PLM project. And I had a slide here to talk a little bit more about Clover. Like I said, we're doing a lot with the Clover integration platform at this point. I would definitely encourage you, just on one last note, to check out our booth, talk to us about the things we're doing here. Earlier this year, our marketing group really split this out. We've got a lot of great things happening here around technical data package and other business system integrations. So the last piece, how did, I think this is maybe one of the more important things to take from this presentation. How did we do this? How did we work together? Flexco and Razorleaf have been working together the last 2 years on this implementation, rolling all these different things out. It took a different services approach. So I had a conversation with a project manager many years ago. And, for the last 5 or so years, Agile has been huge. I mean, you've heard Aras talk about here at the conference, the SAFe methodology. I think for a long time, customers have been figuring out how to roll out PLM as an enterprise system using Agile methodologies, but it hasn't necessarily been sold that way. And if you've ever been part of a PLM project, you've experienced a change order and how hard they are to budget for. Consulting as a service is Razorleaf's answer for that. So what we're able to do is, with an initiation project, and I'll show you how we did this with Flexco, we're able to discover the scope, the goals of the client, map out loose requirements, but not everything, because we know the business's goals are going to shift. There's going to be challenges with the end users, the things that the company wants. So after we're able to do that evaluation, we're able to pretty safely say what type of team it's going to take from the Razorleaf Consulting Group to go execute on that and make that customer successful. This allows us to do a couple things. It allows us to get the right team built for the client that's going to be there for a period of time, for sure, at least a quarter or 3 months worth of time. And it also allows us to control the budget. So with that commitment, we can control the budget for the client. It helps us avoid change orders. It helps us avoid stop points in the project. So no more costly delays, no more not being able to manage with the change in scope schedule, and stay away from change orders that not only typically stop the project, but just create rifts and keep us from being productive. So to give you an idea, the team that we had here at Flexco, we had a BC, an Aras developer, an SA, and a project manager. And on the Flexco side, we really had a great team, good PLM administrators, a great project manager who helped us through, and really good executive sponsorship. I can't say enough how important good executive sponsorship is for these projects. So kudos to the Flexco team for putting the right people on the project and treating it with the responsibility it needs to be successful. So a little bit about the timeline, one more time here. So remember, 2013 to 2018, good foundational pieces of parts and change management. 2018 to 19, we're doing selection, making sure Aras Innovator is the enterprise platform to move forward with. And then upon that decision, June of 2019. So I built this timeline a little different. I think it's important to show you, everybody always wants to know, what should I tackle first? This is an example of the things we tackled with Flexco and in what order: parts and bombs, dock change, MPP hooks. We kind of did CAD last, which is unique, but worked for us in our plan. And then, of course, integration. Never want to build an integration without, having everything else built. That's kind of my integration 101, right? We got to have good fields. We got to know what we're going to pass before we can go integrate. And then I think contractually, like I talked about the consulting as a service, this is sort of the model we followed in order to make them successful. So initiation, to learn the scope, the goals, how we were going to tackle those things. And then ConAS 1, which ran us from about January to October of last year. We did have a little delay with COVID, but that allowed us to really push things forward into MPP. And then we started things back up here in January, and we're just wrapping up our second consulting as a service engagement as we head into adoption and support. So now we're looking at things like training, end user support. As we could build the greatest thing in the world, and if they're not happy with it, we don't get adoption and return on investment. So those are the challenges we are faced with moving forward, and the ones that we're tackling today. So crystal ball, what's this look like moving forward? I think this is one of the things I'm also excited about, and why Flexco is such a great customer. I think they understand the future goals for Flexco. QMS, quality management system. We're looking at taking on inspections, equipment management, non-conformance, supplier management with the Razorleaf supplier management suite. And then another request we get all the time, and I'm excited about, the cost and cost sheet. We've got all this data in PLM. Now, how do I evaluate what it costs me to create my product, what it costs me to manage my product? So lots of great things on the horizon for Flexco. I can't say enough good things about this customer, the team on the Razorleaf side that's worked this project. Just really excited to be here and present this information to you guys today. I want to thank you for joining me, and I definitely want to thank Flexco for letting me present on their behalf. Thank you.